Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. It's Friday morning. It's November 4th. My name's Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us this morning at the Coffee Ann table. We'll say good morning to Dave Richards. Hi there, Dave.
Good morning, Joe. You've heard of March 4th.
Yes.
This is November 4th.
Yes, it is.
So those of you who like to November, yeah,
Okay.
crummiest weather month of the year. And I'm eating my words this year, aren't I, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the Coffee Ann table, we have a couple of guests for us from Dean Bank. We'll say good morning once again to Angel McClure, the branch manager of the Blackstone branch. And good morning, Angel.
Good morning.
And Mike Carroll, also from Dean Bank, Vice President of Marketing. And good morning to you there, Mike.
Good morning, gentlemen.
And we're going to talk to you, these
He
guys,
doesn't work
about
out of
what's
the
going
Blackstone
on.
branch. He works out of the head branch.
He's the head guy over there in
that's
Franklin.
right.
That is correct.
All right, we're going to talk about what's going on with the 25-year celebration in the Blackstone branch right after we hear from Dave, our first message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, our first segment sponsor of the Coffee Ann program.
Yes, Joe, thank you very much. Well, I have in my email inbox, I always talk about that because that's where the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce communicates all those important things, the like what's going on thing. We have one coming up on next Wednesday, November 9th. It's the Eggs and Issues Breakfast. Professor Wendy Schiller, political science professor and international and public affairs professor at Brown University, will be speaking at the Eggs and Issues Breakfast coming up on November 9th. And keep in mind, of course, that all Coffee Ann listeners have dispensation to attend chamber events that happen in the morning. So you just do a makeup when we do the replay or catch it on the web or something, okay, like that. So, and then, of course, there's the Northern Rhode Island Chamber PAC. These folks are taking me seriously, Joe. I'm in big trouble. And the Northern Rhode Island Chamber PAC fundraiser is coming up on November 16th, and that's it was founded to support the election of candidates for public office up and down the ballot, and like that. And on December 1st, I meant to say, the holiday open house. We always look forward to that every year. It's a special signature event, and they're back at the Bally's Twin River Lincoln Casino Resort. Expo tables are available for those who want to get in on that. Of course, it's sponsored by the Board of Directors, Bally's, and the Bristol County. And so, let's see, was that it? That's the end of that list over here. And then, of course, the 2022 honorees have been announced for, quickly, Dave, get that up here on your screen. Yes, there's a little advertising in here for the Providence Business News newspaper. It's a member of the Chamber. And the Manufacturing 2022 Awards. And this is coming up on November 10th, next Thursday. Lots of things happening, of course. It's getting back into the busy season for the Chamber as well. And if you'd like to know how the Chamber can help you in your business activities, a lot of people have a little side hustle on the side. It wouldn't hurt to be part of the Chamber, help grow that little business there for you. Never know. It might be something that you take on as a full-time venture later on. Just call this telephone number, 334-1000. After 9 o'clock this morning, anybody who answers can tell you how the Chamber can work for you. Joe?
All right, Dave, thanks. And as we mentioned, the Blackstone branch of Dean Bank has been celebrating their 25 years in Blackstone all this week.
Prizes and fun and stuff.
Yes. Mike, was this your brainchild to, hey, it's 25 years, we should do something special?
It was a cooperative effort for sure. 25 years in any community is a long time, you know. And I remember talking with the publisher of the Blackstone Enlightener, and she told the story of how the bank, they were desperate for a financial institution to come into town. And through the efforts of, at the time, our president, Wayne Cottle, we were able to establish a branch there. And at the time, I believe it was the first branch in town. I know there are two. Technically, Unibank also has a presence in Blackstone, though they're right on the Woonsocket-Bellingham line over there. So we've been, delighted to have been a member of the Blackstone community for as long as we have, and we just wanted to do something special to give back and say thanks.
Angel, you must have seen a lot of the same customers over and over and over that just keep coming back, residents of Blackstone.
Of course, yes. I've been working in the Blackstone office for 15 years, so I know a lot of customers obviously know who
By
I
first
am.
name?
Yeah, yes,
Then
actually.
you'll recognize
Yes.
the fabulous Denise behind the glass over
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
So this is are you from Blackstone?
No, I actually grew up in Woonsocket.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Nothing
Don't
wrong with
hold
that.
that against you. Joe.
No, not at all. No, delighted.
No,
You
that's
know,
fine.
We call it, obviously it's located, the branch is located in Blackstone, but we serve customers from Millville, Uxbridge, Blackstone, Woonsocket, North Smithfield. I mean, we're a community bank, and it's not just Blackstone. I mean, the branch literally sits on the Woonsocket line. So
And
Yeah.
and you've been in that one same location for the all 25
we have,
years, right?
yeah, we have. So
Okay.
it's and this also coincides with a major renovation project that we completed about 2 weeks ago. As we all know, the Park Shop was a staple in that plaza for many, many years.
You're
and
taking it over.
that would be a big branch.
That would be a
that would be a
That's
big
right.
branch.
Well, that was the trick they did in Bellingham, of course. They took the entire, you own the entire plaza. And it's never
we do.
thrived like it has since the bank owned it.
We purchased the plaza
Yeah.
a good 20 years ago. So you're right, we were a tenant and then purchased that plaza. So we do, but when the Park and Shop
you even
left,
attracted Piet Jewelers from Woonsocket.
we
to be
did.
there, so-
We did, and we're delighted to have them there.
Yeah.
We are delighted to have them there. But I think the talk was, what's going to happen with the bank? I know, Angel, you were approached many times asking if the branch was going to stay or go. So we're delighted.
Because Park and Shop left, they
Yeah,
came and asked if the bank was going to go too.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it was a natural question that
Okay.
people were asking. You get one retailer to leave.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Everyone else, yes.
And not only did we vehemently deny any plans
Mm-hmm.
to leave, we committed to the location. We committed to the community
Mm-hmm.
with a huge multi-$100,000 renovation project. We added technology. So if you haven't been in the branch in a long
Mm-hmm.
time, Angela, it's
And now's the time to definitely come look. We took away our traditional teller line, and we actually have pod stations now. Everything is brand
Does
new.
that make things go faster for the customer?
Well, we have universal bankers, so universal bankers are able to do everything. So you could do everything right at that pod station if you
Oh,
need
great.
to. Even if to open up an account or whatever you need to get done, my staff is there for you.
And you moved the ATM.
We did. We moved the ATM to the first drive-up lane. Yes. So being there as long as I have, going into a little cubicle.
and never has a simple decision like that created more confusion.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But that's okay. I think our customer, it was just new.
Right.
Everyone's used to, you're on autopilot. You go to the outside lane for the ATM. So invariably, we see people still pull up to that outside lane, look,
Back
the light
up.
bulb goes off, and then they do the roundabout and come into the inside lane.
Are more financial institutions doing it that way, making the ATM the first lane?
I think it all depends on the location. For us, it was logistics. It was, with fewer people coming into the branch, staffing needs change. So I think having the ATM inside, safe, secure, where you don't have to use manpower to go outside on a daily basis, certainly adds security to the employees.
Yes.
Sure. So there's been a lot of fun going on at the bank this entire week. Just to back on Monday, which was Halloween.
Yes, we
Did you-
had
did you-
costume contest.
Did you dress
yes.
up?
I did.
What'd you dress up as?
I dressed up as Don't Be a Karen.
Oh, ho, ho.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it said, I want to speak with the manager. My shirt.
And of course, she is the manager.
That is-
Yeah, it was just
that's-
kind of
that's
fitting. It was just
funny.
kind of funny.
So did you have a lot of fun people coming in dressed as costume on Monday?
Not as many as we expected,
No.
but we had one woman come in dressed up as a big dinosaur.
Okay.
And she actually came in the back of her husband's pickup truck, which is funny.
Because
so
you couldn't fit
cab.
in that one seat.
yeah, because she couldn't
that's
fit in the
funny.
truck because the costume was so big on her.
Yeah.
She definitely won that prize.
All right. Well, good for
So,
her.
yes.
And so on Tuesday, you had their decorate the pumpkin kind of thing.
We
How'd that
did. We
go?
had some contestants go onto our Facebook page
Mm-hmm.
and post pictures. So we did have 3 winners, which I've already gave their gift certificates to.
And I do, if I may, I do want to say a quick thank you to Wojcik's Farm. Wojcik's was great, and we purchased the pumpkins from them. So I think Angel gave
And
away
the
about
Doditz Insider that day.
Angel gave away about 20 pumpkins. So
All right.
we thank
Wow.
Wojcik's
Yeah.
for that.
And you gave away 3 $75 gift
Gift
cards to
cards.
Wojcik's.
We did.
So
We did.
that's nice. And on Wednesday, you had the people bringing in food donations for food pantry. How'd
We
that go?
did. That actually went really great. We had a good donation amount that we were able to give back to the Blackstone Millville Food Pantry. So, and then we had a raffle that day too for a $250 gift card to a grocer of their local choosing, which we took care of too. So,
All right.
But-
And yesterday, another good raffle that you had going on where people could win a gift basket full of gift cards. Nice.
Yeah. Go
well,
ahead.
that's our next raffle.
Oh, it is?
That's
Well, the Thursday was Small Business
it was
Extravaganza.
extravaganza.
And instead of having what we decided, and it was Angel's idea, I thought it was a great idea. Instead of having one gift basket, we actually solicited many small businesses. And I think we had
Yeah.
six. I think we had 6 gift baskets that we gave
Five.
away. Five?
Five.
Okay. Crave Mead,
Afterglow.
Afterglow Boutique, located on Main Street.
Toll
in
booth.
The Toll Booth.
Oh yeah.
And Valley and Vines,
And Valley and Vines.
which are
Okay.
small local
And
businesses.
actually,
I couldn't get them all,
think-
unfortunately.
And I also believe that the kindness of ON Radio,
Yes.
did you guys give us some Mystic Aquarium tickets?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
us.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we
raffled
you
those too.
You were very generously donated by ON Radio. We donated. We raffled 4 of them off on Friday. On Thursday, and we have for the 4 more tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's going to be in our grand prize too.
Very nice. Are people excited to see the Mystic Aquarium tickets?
think
Hey,
they
look
were.
at
They
that.
think
were.
they were.
There were actually a lot of raffle tickets when I was searching through it last night because I closed
And
the
we
branch.
thank
I,
you for
I
that.
That's
picked them all
great.
last night. I have to call them all today to let them know they're the lucky winner.
Those are the fun phone calls.
Yeah, they're like,
when you have to
"Really?"
call
They're
winners.
so excited.
That's a blast. So today, now listen up, Dave.
Yeah.
You might want to take part in
Yes.
this.
Okay.
Free lunch and dinner
Oh,
at
my.
Dean Bank today. Free food.
Correct.
Now, if you show up
Well, I'm
at
glad
the
you
Dean Bank,
glad you mentioned the dinner part because I've already got a business lunch scheduled.
well, you can show up between 11 and 2 today.
But I don't get. But can we
12
talk
and 2.
business?
Or
Can we
12
talk
and 2?
business there?
12 and 2.
Sorry, let's make that 12 and 2.
12
I
and
had
2,
I had
okay.
11 on the thing. Sorry about that.
I contacted the local
And
pizza
then-
places.
And between 4 and 6 tonight.
Correct. Our branch is open
That-
till 6 p.m. on Friday, so we decided to,
Okay.
and we get a lot of, especially on a Friday, you get a lot of people coming in after a hard day work, cashing their checks or depositing their
Awesome.
checks. So
You gonna say something, David?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We can come after 4
There you go.
because the office is closed at 4, and sometimes we zip on over there.
who are some of the restaurants?
So for lunch today, we're going to get pizza from TKO and Ideal Pizza.
All
My
right.
goodness, yeah.
And then tonight, I'm going to get the Sicilian pizza from Pomodoro right here in Woonsocket.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yes.
And we're going to serve that. So today is pizza day.
Yum, yum. And another raffle.
Yes, another raffle. We're going to raffle another $150 gift card to a local restaurant of their choice.
Whoa.
Nice.
People
huh?
love it when they can choose, huh?
Yeah.
So have you been having fun, Angel, going around to all the businesses, explaining who you are in case they don't know?
Yes, I
And then why you're there.
Yes, I have. And they're very happy. These are all people that I know already that already bank with us. So we're
So
giving
there's already
back.
a business relationship
Yes,
going on
yes. So they give us business. I'm going to give them.
there. That's right.
business.
That's right. Working out very nicely,
Yes.
huh? So, okay.
Yes.
So great. And now, tomorrow, it continues on Saturday. Tell us what's going on tomorrow at Dean Bank in Blackstone.
So tomorrow we're having a caricature artist there to
Mm-hmm.
do some paintings, and we're also having a face painter.
Will they make a caricature of you in your Halloween costume?
Unfortunately, I
I'm
will
sure they love
not
to
be
hang
there
that on the
tomorrow
wall.
morning. I'm going on vacation.
Oh, well, you'll need it after this week.
I know.
And there'll be a big grand prize winner tomorrow.
There is. So Dean Bank donated $500 to go, and I went to a whole bunch of our local restaurants to go purchase gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those restaurants matched me.
Oh,
So
did
it's
they?
actually about almost $1,000 worth of gift cards to local restaurants.
When you
They
talk
were
about a
very-
grand prize, now that's a grand
That is a
prize.
grand prize.
Yeah.
Our local community is very generous, and a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
I think almost all of them matched me.
Fantastic.
So-
So that'll take place tomorrow.
That is our grand prize.
That's exciting.
And we will also have an anniversary cake
Yes. the anniversary cake.
from Wright's Bakery. I believe.
You're
Yes.
missing.
Yes.
You're missing the cake.
I'm
She'll be
sorry.
missing the
I'm not a
cake.
cake person.
Oh, okay. All right.
I certainly am.
All right, and free cake. There you go.
And free cake today, too.
Hours tomorrow.
We're actually doing cake today.
Cake and pizza.
Cake
Yes.
and pizza.
You got two of the major food groups, right?
All right.
What are the hours on Saturday?
Our hours tomorrow morning are 8:30 to 12.
Exactly.
And we're
Okay.
going to have special treats also being served from Betty's Donuts.
All right,
Nice.
very good. You got
Very
all the
good.
bases covered, Angel.
I tried.
Nicely done. All right, Mike, you have to give her a raise. Okay.
Absolutely. I'll tell
Yes.
you, she's worked hard this week for sure.
All right.
And
We're gonna take
another week's vacation.
A week's vacation.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. We're going to talk more about this and what's going on at the Blackstone branch of Dean Bank. But Dave, it's time for a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Joe. Short and sweet. And I'll repeat that telephone number for you to call after 9 o'clock this morning and talk to the folks in the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce and see how the Chamber can work for you. The number is 401-334-1000. 401-334-1000. Thank you.
The high cost of living, rising energy costs, safe streets, secure elections. These are the issues facing every Rhode Islander, and they require real leadership and real solutions. My name is John Brian, and as State Representative for District 49, I assure you that I will work to earn your trust each and every day that I serve as your state representative. I'm running as an independent candidate because in this climate of political gridlock and consistent conflict, I think it is truly important to elect candidates that will have an open mind regardless of party or personality. Neither political party has the monopoly on good or bad ideas, holding the city, town, or state back because of a party designation holds us back from the successes that we could otherwise achieve. As a former state representative and vice president of the Woonsocket City Council, I have the experience and knowledge to hit the ground running on day one. I humbly ask you for your vote, and I look forward to serving you as your state representative. Paid for, Friends of John Brian.
I'm so upset at myself. The summer has come and gone, and I have not contacted Lance at Interstate Seal Coating to come take a look at my driveway. If you're like me and you put this off all summer, you have to call Interstate Seal Coating now before the real cold weather sets in.
Remember, when you want the job done right, from seal coating and crack filling to parking lot striping, it's Interstate Seal Coating at the sign of the seal. 349-9360. Call Lance today and he'll seal you tomorrow. All estimates are free.
They're celebrating 25 years as your neighbor all this week at the Blackstone branch of Dean Bank. Stop in today, Friday, November 4th, and you can enjoy lunch or dinner. Visit the branch in Blackstone between 11 and 2 and 4 to 6 to sample some of the best food from local restaurants, and be sure to enter a drawing for a $150 gift card to a local restaurant of your choice. Dean Bank, 8 Main Street, Blackstone. Dean Bank, it's my bank. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England. ON Radio. It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards. We're also here with a couple of members of Dean Bank, Mike Carroll, VP of Marketing, and Angel McClure, branch manager of the Blackstone branch. They've been celebrating their 25 years in Blackstone all this week, and they have a big open house tomorrow as well, but the free food is today, so make sure you get down to Dean Bank and say hello. Now, I'll ask Angel this question: have you run into the situation with the bank in the bank where it's nationwide, looking for people to come and work, just employees situation?
Yes. What happens is usually when in banking, most people start in the retail area and then they branch off to other departments. So it's a revolving door a lot. I have some staff that have been with me for at least 5, actually one of them 8 years. So, and I've been at that branch location for 15 myself.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I think generally, overall, the bank-wide, and again, we're a small community bank. We're 4 branches, so we don't have the challenges that maybe some of the larger, regional or national banks have. I'd say we've probably fared a little bit better than most banks in terms of filling positions. I think the when we do have a staffing challenge, it's typically for a part-time position.
Okay.
And Angel's right.
Yeah.
Retail is the entry level typically. You come in through retail, you learn the banking business, and then either you advance in the branch network, or you go on to whether it's retail operations, deposit ops, mortgage lending. We have one employee who's now a commercial lender, and I'll give her a little shout out. She's been an employee for a long time, and she's a member of the Woonsocket community. Megan Moylan. Megan Moylan actually started with you
Yeah.
at a competing bank. You both came over 15 years ago or so.
Yes, both 15
She was a
years.
teller, assistant manager, branch manager, and now she's our small business lender. She's doing commercial lending. So I think in a community bank like ours, there are unique opportunities for advancement.
Sure. Mike, how long have you been with Dean Bank?
I've been at Dean since 2010, but I've been in the banking industry a lot longer than that.
Okay.
Maybe Mike can explain something as you're using some of the terms of the industry, which you normally, we'd expect you to do. But when you say retail area
Yeah.
of banking, what jobs does that encourage? That we would recognize.
Sure. So that's Angel and her staff.
Yes.
So retail banking would be consumer banking would be
Branch staff.
Right.
Branch staff.
Right. Tellers.
So the tellers, all the rest of that.
And we don't call them tellers anymore. We've kind of modified the position. We've eliminated the teller position. Everybody, Angel, why don't you talk about it actually?
Yes, we have universal bankers now.
Yeah. We heard you say that
Yes.
before. What does it actually mean?
So that means you can go to this person and they can do a lot of the customer service tasks that you would have done in the office. I'll say back in the day.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's more of a hybrid position.
Position.
It's a combination of the traditional teller,
Right.
As well as the customer service representative. We used to call them CSRs. So we've morphed those two positions into one through cross training. So in essence, you can come in and a lot of times I think it's frustrating. You go to a bank, you're at the teller line. Hi, I need to see somebody about a car loan. Go have a seat. That person's busy right now, and it's 15 minutes or so. Our staff is completely cross-trained, so they could take an application right there at the pod station, or perhaps you want a little bit of privacy, you need to talk about something. That employee can escort you into an office, a private office, and then somebody else steps into their position.
We actually call them hotel offices now.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to put a fancy term to it.
So,
My goodness.
Angel, you've been there for 15 years now. What would you say is one of the bigger differences you've seen since the time you started, up until now?
Oh, technology, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's always something new coming out. I feel that Dean Bank's very competitive in the market where we try to keep up with all the technology. And one of the best things that our customers love is that we print the debit cards on the spot.
Oh,
Right.
nice. No
So
waiting.
you lose your card, we don't have to wait, 7 to 10 days to get it in the mail. We print it right there. You have fraud on your card, no
Wow.
problem. We've got you covered. Here's a new card for you.
Perfect. Wow.
So now we do contactless touch cards. So
Yep.
That's nice.
Yes.
And Mike,
That's
you've been in the
very nice.
business longer. What do you think you've seen?
Yeah,
biggest
I would
change?
agree with Angel. I think generally speaking, banking has been a very technology-driven industry. The pandemic's really one of the interesting byproducts of the pandemic was, we have a wide demographic. We have customers from your first bank account at 5 or 6 years old to customers in their 80s or beyond. Generally speaking, the older demographic was a little bit late to the game in terms of embracing some of the technology, whether it's online banking, mobile check deposit. Well, with the pandemic, with the branches, and basically everything being closed early in the pandemic, customers were forced to test out and try out some of our technology.
Yeah.
And we have found that some of the older customers, once they did it, were delighted with it.
They liked it.
It's a game changer. I mean, look at the amount of time. If you're used to going to the bank, let's say 3 days a week, you live 15 minutes away from the bank, so that's a half an hour of travel time plus the time in the bank doing whatever. When you realize that you can get all that time back, that half an hour times 3 days a week, that's an hour and a half of your life back. And you're not sacrificing quality, safety, security. So banking's really embraced ease of use, convenience through technology.
It was always the old jokes that what do you got, bankers hours? And,
Exactly.
But now it's just
gosh.
Saturdays.
I still hear
and-
that.
People still say
still
that?
hear that.
Well,
I'm
you should
old.
tell them what your business hours actually are. Say, hey, you're open a lot.
I'm old enough to remember they let us out of the mill 10 minutes early on payday, so we
Race
could
to the
get
bank.
because the mill closed at 3. The bank closed at 3:00.
Yeah.
Unless you were inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a race to the
That
doors.
was a long time ago.
I remember when Social Security checks came out before direct deposit, and everybody used to line up at the door the third of the
course.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did it for years too, to check to make sure that it got in there.
Yes.
Now they
Yeah.
can do it with a phone call or on an app or something
Yes.
else like that.
Absolutely.
That's pretty good. Something else I was telling a member of staff some time before. Some of the things that have changed too, maybe you'll agree with this, is that from my point of view, I said, there's no such thing as a float anymore when you're doing checks. Seriously, there isn't. You can't count that it's going to be a day in the mail and a day at the bank and stuff like that.
Well,
there's no
you're absolutely
because
right.
they can just
It
take
is.
their cell phone and take a picture of it and bang.
That's correct. The float time in the
Yeah.
old days, it was
It's
sometimes
down to
a
hours
week or
instead of days.
It can be. It can be. You would be surprised. People, usually bad people, still try to play the float game. But the duration has certainly closed. A day, 2 days, depending on where the check and checks. I mean, our check writing and our check processing is down probably 75% from even 5 years ago. But people still do write checks, and they still do try to write bad checks.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true
I don't
too.
like those phone calls.
Nah, I bet
Some of the
not.
technology is driven by security issues.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, there's a reluctance because people are skeptical. They're nervous and scared of technology. But I will say, in general, the safety and security of the modern technology far exceeds now. The older days. Again, a bad check can still be a customer can still be victimized by a bad check.
Sure.
Scams.
Angel, do you see when people come in to open up an account, are they surprised that they no longer get a passbook?
We actually okay, so
do you
we
still offer it?
actually still
Well,
offer those.
You do? Wow.
Yes. To be honest with you, not many people utilize them anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just more
Isn't that
convenient to do
sweet, though?
statement savings. You can do
Right.
everything right online, transfer, do everything you need.
Some
So-
of you may either own or collect or work on old vehicles, and one of the challenges with an old vehicle is finding parts. If you have a '69 Mustang and you need a new carburetor,
Yeah.
very difficult. Angel and some of our other branches have that exact problem with passbook printers.
Well, yeah.
The industry has
Evolved.
has evolved, right? So I believe there's still one company out there. So if our passbook, and believe it or not, we have a lot of customers that still treasure their passbooks.
Do they?
So we've made the decision, even though it's sort of it's obviously a product that has seen we have other products that are far more advanced. We don't want to take that away from our customers, and if they
want
enjoy
it,
the
then-
passbook, we're going to do everything we can to sustain that as long as we can.
Did the books ever get jammed in the printer?
Yes, absolutely.
Hang on for a minute.
Like sometimes it goes in sideways. Like you just have to put it in
It can
right.
happen.
Yeah.
It's mechanical against
Yeah.
electronic technology.
That's
so
right. Well, it's the cross you bear.
Mechanical
over
stuff.
there.
Yes.
Mechanical stuff does break.
Yes.
What stayed the same in the banking industry?
We're very lucky,
Over the years.
and I'll ask you to put the camera back on Angel because she's far more photogenic than I am.
Oh no.
And I'm going to say some nice things about her.
All right.
That face has stayed the same. I think the personal touch, Dave, you were talking about that. The personal touch in banking. Here's the deal nowadays: people don't want to go into the bank until they have to go into the bank.
Okay.
So having that sort of that high wire walker, with the net underneath, they want the ease and convenience and freedom of doing what they want, when they want, how they want, until there's a problem. And I think the ability to solve their problems in a personal manner. For example, we still have a real person answering our phones. So if you call Dean Bank's
Hear,
main
hear.
number, 508-528-0088, you're going to get Rachel. She's going to answer the phone and say, Dean Bank, how may I direct your call? Excuse me.
All right.
So I think the personal touch needs to stay the same. And I think, unfortunately, with some of the larger banks, I think that gets diluted. You were talking about that earlier on the break,
We have
Dave.
no answering machines here.
Yeah.
If somebody's in the building, they answer the phone.
Right.
So because we know it's important, and it is important, and you know it's important.
We do, and we firmly believe that.
Yeah, I tried to find the telephone number of a television station in Rhode Island. You couldn't even find it on their website.
No, they don't want you to call.
Correct.
They
want you
don't
to email.
want you to call.
Yeah,
Much an
and,
email.
and I certainly wouldn't mention names, but there are financial institutions out there who do the same thing. They will not publish those branch numbers. If you go on to deanbank.com, you'll see not only Angel's picture, the hours of operations, and the phone number. If you need to reach the Blackstone branch, 883-2122, you can find that right there.
You might even get me picking up the
There
phone.
you go. Maybe
Sure.
you can refute this. I mean, I know we got to get you to going and all, but it seemed like 10 years ago in the banking industry, the rumor was is that the banks were trying to keep you out of the branch, and they said every time you come into the branch, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost to talk to somebody. It's
Oh, I
going to cost you to
remember
make a
hearing that,
deposit. It's going to cost you to make a withdrawal.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've kind of gone away from that.
Well, I will be honest, and again, I wouldn't ever disparage or mention competitors by name, but there are some financial institutions that have accounts that charge a premium if you want to see a teller. That Dean Banks, that has never been in our strategy. Again, I always say this: we're a community bank, and I firmly believe it's the first word that's more important, or certainly as important as the second word. We're a community bank. So I think if people are looking for that type of level of service that you don't, quite frankly, you don't find that much today, you're going to find it at Dean Bank.
All right. So, Mike and Angel, we thank you for coming in today, talking about the anniversary of the Blackstone branch of Dean Bank. Remember, it's free lunch and free dinner at Dean Bank today, and cake and pizza. So that's today, and then you get your big open house tomorrow. Character artist,
Prizes.
face
When are you
painted,
drawing for the prizes tomorrow?
and big grand prizes tomorrow.
They're gonna draw after closing, 12 o'clock.
All right. So
And we'll notify
Yeah.
we'll probably notify the winner on Monday.
cool.
All right, Angel and Mike, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Joe.
having
Thank
us.
you, Dave.
We
Great.
appreciate it.
We
More
gotta do this
coffee
again.
ends coming up.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
John Chan of Chan's Fine Oriental Dining in Woonsocket wants to thank you all for once again voting them Best Chinese Restaurant and Best Entertainment in the Woonsocket Call Reader's Choice Survey. Chan's is open every day at 3 p.m. for dine-in, takeout, entertainment, and, of course, you can enjoy their Horseshoe Bar Lounge and karaoke Friday nights from 8 to 11. Call Chan's today for takeout or reservations, 765-1900. Chan's is open at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket.
This weather forecast is being brought to you by Unbound.org.
Becoming sunny today with a high of 71 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 54. Saturday's weather, sunny and 74. Sunday, mostly cloudy and 73. Monday, sunshine and 74. Tuesday, it gets cooler, sunny with a high of 56. Wednesday, sunny and 54. And next Thursday, mostly sunny and 62.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies and 50 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor, an elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at unbound.org.
In Congress, David Cicilline is delivering for Rhode Island. As global events raise prices everywhere, including here at home, Cicilline is cutting costs for Rhode Islanders. He battled the pharmaceutical companies and lowered prescription drug prices for seniors. David took on the big corporations for price gouging and brought historic investments in infrastructure, manufacturing, and clean energy to create jobs, improve the supply of goods, and help reduce costs for consumers. Visit Cicilline.com and make your plan to vote on or before Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th. David Cicilline, delivering for Rhode Island.
I'm David Cicilline, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Cicilline Committee.
Hi, this is Gary Smith. Join me for Do You Remember, Tuesday through Friday mornings at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards. Rich Lane from Post 85 could not join us this week. We hope to have Rich back next week. But joining us on the phone right now is Kevin Callahan. Good morning to you, Kevin.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Well, Dave is here as well. Say hi to Dave.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Hi, Kevin.
So there it is. So we're here to talk a little high school football because there is a game tonight, playoff game tonight. So you probably had probably the best football game last weekend, last Friday night, Woonsocket versus Barrington. That came down to the last second field goal, of which Woonsocket was on the short end of the stick, but still a very good game.
Yeah, actually, it was an overtime game.
Okay.
Yes.
And Woonsocket missed the extra point, and Barrington hit their extra point after both scoring touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
Right on the heels of Barrington missing a 42-yard field goal attempt. If it was a 40-yard attempt, it would have been good.
Wow.
Very exciting game, 28-27. The game had a little bit of everything.
And what's weird is, Woonsocket loses that game when Barrington wins, but Woonsocket goes to the playoffs and Barrington goes home.
Because of the previous wins and losses, right?
Yeah, that was decided, overnight into Saturday morning. They ran all the numbers because there were 4 teams that finished 3-3, and only 2 could get in.
Yeah.
And it ended up being that Woonsocket and Shea were the lucky ones, and Barrington and South Kingstown, who actually had a shot at the number 1 seed going into last weekend's game, got knocked out of the playoffs.
Okay. Now, do they go by points scored? Is that a factor?
You got your head-to-head. Then they also points scored, quality of opponents, common opponents record. They bring in so many different
That's
things.
a lot of factors.
Points for and points against are also part of the mix as well.
Okay, so Woonsocket is in, so that's good news. Cumberland is in the playoffs. Lincoln's in the playoffs as well. And they're all 3 Northern Rhode Island teams are playing tonight. We can only be at one place. So Kevin and Brendan are going to Cranston down to take on see Woonsocket take on Cranston West. What do you know about the Falcons of Cranston West, Kevin?
They are a team that likes to, for the 4th or 5th game in a row, likes to run more than pass, and that's what Woonsocket is facing again.
Mm-hmm.
They have almost 1,000-yard runner, Cranston West, as Marcus Chung, a senior, averaging 115 yards a game. He's had 500-plus yards, games this season. But they also have a sophomore quarterback that can whip the ball. He's thrown for 750 yards as well and 10 touchdowns, but he has thrown 6 interceptions. So Woonsocket's going to really have to put their best guys out there in forms of put the pressure on the quarterback and try to stop Marcus Chung. And then Woonsocket, they're going to have to do their mix of running and throwing the ball. They're kind of like an even 50-50 split, and everything relies on Dante Melton, the junior quarterback for Woonsocket. As he goes, the team goes.
Okay. Now, before the Woonsocket-Barrington game, Woonsocket was in a bit of a drought. They didn't score any points in the 2 games before, but they came out, and scored a lot of points against Barrington. Do you see that carrying forward to this game where they score, close to 20, maybe 30 points?
Yeah, something they did really well, a little bit different. They have a senior tight end, Xavier Luke, that they put him in the backfield on goal line situations. He's a big, burly kid that just blasts through the line, and he scored 2 touchdowns last week. It's the first time they had used him in that role. So they've been typically using Jonathan Figueroa to do the running, and he was getting stopped at the goal line a few times, as was Melton. They gave the ball to Xavier Luke, and he just plowed through. So that's something new, and that's something I expect to see Woonsocket use tonight when they get down to goal line situations.
All right.
They got 4 touchdowns last week. That was exciting.
How is Woonsocket in their defense in stopping the run, if that's what Cranston West uses as a lot of their offense?
It's they're big. So if they can get Cranston West to get them to run into the line, or just a little bit outside, they'll stop them for losses or no gains. If Cranston West can bounce to the outside, and that's what I'm a little worried about when I look at the numbers for Marcus Chung, running for almost 1,000 yards. It sounds like he can bounce to the outside. He might be able to get some big gains. So they're going to have to, bring up their cornerbacks and safeties to make sure that he does not run wild on them.
Okay. We mentioned earlier Cumberland and Lincoln are both playing tonight. Kevin, tell us who they're playing and where.
Cumberland's at Westerly at 7 o'clock tonight, and Lincoln is at West Warwick at 6:30 tonight.
Okay. And we'll be doing the Woonsocket Cranston West game. And when does that kick off?
But I think if they listen to the Cranston West and Woonsocket game, they'll be getting updates from the other games as well. I know that Brendan likes to do that.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, we're gonna be keeping our eye on all the action in the D2 playoffs and the D3 playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Division 1 has their playoffs next week. Division 4 is wrapping up their regular season this week, and their playoffs start next week. So we're going to keep a close eye on everything going on in the 4 Division 2 playoff games. Obviously, we're doing 1 in the 4 Division 3 playoff games. And we're going to give updates as much as we can. Actually, we can't give the update on the Tolman Moses Brown game. Is that tomorrow at 12:30?
Well, of course.
But
Okay.
the other 7 games, we'll keep an eye on.
The update is they haven't started yet.
Yeah, there you go. Now, and kickoff tonight, Kevin?
At 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock from Cranston. Well, best of luck to the Villanovans, and have a good game tonight.
All right, thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.
Very good. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Bye. Kevin Callahan, play-by-play guy, and Brendan McGarr will be doing color for tonight's Woonsocket and Cranston West game. All
It's
right.
very exciting this time of year, don't you think, Joe?
Well, especially for the kids who are playing. Now if we don't win tonight, we don't play next week. Or we have a few weeks off until Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah,
And
just
we
about everybody
wanna-
plays on Thanksgiving, you're right.
We want to keep playing for real.
Yeah,
We
well,
don't
you
wanna-
want to win the title, don't you?
Yes, and we don't want to practice for 3 weeks.
Right.
It gets kind of dull after a while. So, Dave, you pulled up a picture. We want to take a look at.
It's time for a new feature here on Coffee.
And what's
Inn.
that feature called?
Yeah, and it's the news that isn't the news.
All right.
It didn't make it into the news. We got a story in here from the Naval Office of Community something or other. It's over here. Oh, it went
United
off the
States
screen.
Naval Office.
Yes, and it's from the Navy, and I found it kind of interesting. Now, we didn't have any place for it in our regular newscast. All right, Naval Office of Community Outreach was the word I was looking for. It went off the screen on me. I couldn't see it. It's really something, like I say, I don't see this sort of thing happen very much. Ms. Megan S. Brown from that Naval Office, the Navy Outreach, sent us this little thing with a picture. I think the people who are watching our video feed can see that picture right now, and I'll describe it to the radio audience. And for those who aren't sure what they're looking at over here, you're on a pier looking out into the harbor at Gibraltar, which I believe is still claimed by Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was like some other.
But it's in that general area.
Like it was his own administrative
Yeah.
area. But Gibraltar, and you can see high rises off to the left in the picture that are on the water. And there it is. That is the USS Rhode Island. It is a naval ballistic missile submarine. You may have heard when it was christened at Groton.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the USS Rhode Island. And usually the Navy doesn't tell you where all the submarines are.
Well, no, they like to keep them underwater and out of sight.
Under wraps.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of interesting that we're in Rhode Island, and this is our namesake ship, and it happened to stop in Gibraltar on Tuesday, the 1st of November. They snapped a picture and sent it out for us to see. I thought that was kind of nice. You can.
I would say those are sailors on top of the
Those are sailors
boat.
that are all grouped up on top over there, and they may be catching a tender to go ashore. There may be shore leave involved. That doesn't go into all of that, but it's an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine, SSBN 740. It arrived in Gibraltar for a scheduled port visit this past Tuesday. The brief stop operations demonstrates the flexibility and adaptability of submarines to bring the U.S. and allied forces in the region. The last time the U.S. Navy SSBN conducted a port visit to Gibraltar was the USS Alaska back in June of 2021. And the port visit to Gibraltar reinforces I'm reading from the press release, reinforces our ironclad commitment to our allies and partners in the region. The U.S. and U.K. share a strong history of cooperation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I thought that was kind of thing. That's some news that didn't make the news.
I wonder if some of the boat or the submarine was made at Electric Boat in Quonset.
It mostly was made.
Mostly made
Electric
there. Oh,
Boat in
great.
Quonset. Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes, and it was launched from Groton.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if I get this right, they could be changing their workflow, but my understanding is that a lot of the internal pieces are made at Davisville, and they're assembled where the hull is all made and everything over at Groton.
Okay. That's nice, and Gibraltar looks nice in the picture, in the background.
Yeah.
Lots of nice buildings. And,
big rocks.
Yeah. I'm sure you can climb those if
I'm
you
particularly
if you like to.
interested in the radio and TV antennas I see on the top of
That's
those.
right. There are a few of those.
All right.
So
Well,
very nice.
So some news that didn't make the news.
All right. This segment of the Coffee and program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper. Dave has the Valley Breeze in his hands this
Well,
week.
I kind of do.
You have one.
Most people would expect me to be showing you the Woonsocket and North Smithfield and Blackstone edition and the Cumberland and Lincoln edition. However, joke's on Dave. Everybody came yesterday and took away all the Woonsocket, North Smithfield, and Black. We're out. We don't have any more of the Woonsocket ones. We still have 2 more of the Lincoln and Cumberland ones, and I have that in my hand right now. Just to give you an example of some of the great local news you'll see in the Breeze, renovations to the Cumberland Senior Center are now completed. They had a big ribbon cutting, and that is a big ribbon. You don't often see when they cut ribbons. This is a printed ribbon.
Yeah.
It's like 6 inches wide, and it says Town of Cumberland with the town's crest on it. And the color, of course, is blue. Very interesting there. Lincoln voters, 2022 Election Day overview is on the front page. And also an interesting story, Cumberland High School students are again using that bridge that passes over Mendon Road, which is pretty nice deal. But I guess long-standing complaints about the high school pedestrian bridge going unused and students instead streaming across Mendon Road disrupting traffic
Okay.
have been addressed.
So how are
And
they?
have that.
So it tells how they're making the students use the bridge again.
I haven't read the entire story from Ethan Shorey, but it starts on the front page, goes into page 15, and it's great reading there for anybody this weekend, even if you're interested in that. And then the last story I'll mention is a story that could easily appear in the Woonsocket edition of The Breeze. And it says, Writing Campaign, Nonpartisan Elections, Marijuana on Ballot in Cumberland.
All right.
And, of course, we have nonpartisan elections here in Woonsocket. We have, I'm told, although they don't, I mean, it's all on Facebook. They haven't even, mentioned it here in any kind of traditional news sort of vein, that there's supposed to be a writing campaign. And then, of course, we also have a marijuana question that nobody's talking about on our ballot right here. Nobody except our Woonsocket Board of Canvassers, who have put announcements out now for the last month talking about the 2 ballot questions in Woonsocket. Ballot question 4 having to do with the solicitor. Ballot question 5 having to do with sale of marijuana retail here in Woonsocket as well. But you get a chance to weigh in on that. But that's, I'm sure, covered in the other one. Also, if I recall, in the in the Blackstone and North Smithfield and Woonsocket edition of this week's Breeze, there's in-depth coverage on the complaint that candidate Mansieri made to the Board of Canvassers here in Woonsocket about one of their employees. And you can read all the details. It covers 3 pages in the Breeze.
It's extensive.
That's what I call a lot of coverage.
Yep.
Plus
All right.
great ads, too. The Valley Breeze newspaper is free where you shop every Thursday.
More Coffee and coming your way. Stay tuned.
Paul Bourget, chairman of the Woonsocket School Committee, is asking for your vote to re-elect him and the current members of the school committee, including Donald Burke, Lynn Kapiskas, Alan LeClaire, and Amy Costa. For the past 2 years, your current school committee has provided experienced leadership and commitment to our students, their parents, and the school administration. They've listened and acted on school issues such as bullying and mask wearing. The school committee approved programs and personnel to address learning loss and social-emotional support. In addition, the school committee provided for a safe and healthy environment for our students. And currently, they're planning for the building and rehabilitation of our schools. Know that your school committee will continue to make sure that our students receive the best education possible. So please, cast your vote for Donald Burke, Lynn Kapiskas, Alan LeClaire, Amy Costa, and Paul Bourget.
Paid for by the Campaign for Paul Bourget.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
Here it is, Coffee and on ON Radio. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, and you're right over there. Now, I'm going to mention something, Dave, and it sounds like, oh, that's a pretty good thing. But then you dive into it a little more, and you're like, well, wait a minute.
You mean there's a story behind the story, Joe?
Well, there could be. Now, every day, it's always a National Something Day.
Well, of course.
I think it was yesterday or the day before was National Deviled Egg Day.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
And on the same day, it was National Radio and TV Traffic Person Day as well. So we all said thank you to Denise.
Yes, right.
So anyway, today
they may mean the traffic reporter. A lot of people in the audience don't realize
not
that.
Not the look of the cars kind of traffic reporter. The person that puts
traffic
the commercials
is the
together.
person who organizes all the programming in the machines and the commercials and does all the bookkeeping and stuff like that. That's actually Denise's job.
All right,
traffic. Yeah.
But today is National Men Make Dinner Day.
Well, that happens,
and it gives men who normally don't cook their chance to shine. And I am fine with this.
They couldn't pick a Saturday.
I don't know. But for some reason, and whoever put this together, no, if you don't follow our rules, then you're not doing it right.
Huh?
There are rules
about what?
Of how. Well, this is it. According to the woman who founded this day back in 2001,
right.
I didn't know it goes back that far. The meal must have a minimum of 4 things. You get your meat, you get your potatoes, you get your veggies, and you got to have something else.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I cook dinner a lot at my house.
Yeah.
Very rarely do we have 4 things.
I see.
Because of dietary things and like that, I have cut out most of the starches in my life.
Yeah.
No more.
Sure.
Which is too bad because I love potatoes.
Yeah.
But no
I love
more
spaghetti.
And no pasta.
Yeah.
So there is meat and there's a lot. You fill it in with vegetables. So a lot of times we'll go to the store and we'll buy a bag of frozen vegetables that are already mixed. Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So do I get to count each one, or because it comes in one bag, the veggies are just one?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it's the rules that just drive me crazy. And you have to use a cooking utensil, like a spoon or a fork or something, other than a fork. Sorry, you can't use a fork. And they insist that the man has to buy all the ingredients. It's just
This is the most sexist piece of baloney I have heard in a long time.
It sounded like fun at the beginning until, what do you mean there's rules?
Yeah.
Why are you ruining it? Well, it could have been a fun little thing.
Yeah, it could have been a
Guys,
fun
go
little
make
thing.
dinner. Got
it. Somebody's
Well,
not
let's-
in it for the fun. Somebody's in it for the power grab.
Let's make it difficult.
Yeah, humiliation and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They're in it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
All right. Other things going on. Now, we know here in the city of Woonsocket that we have, Woonsocket, for mayor, Lisa Baldelli Hunt is running technically unopposed.
Yeah.
Now, there is a slight write-in campaign that's trying to
Maybe.
get off of the ground.
Maybe.
And so they're trying.
I've only heard
Okay.
rumors of a writing campaign. Nobody's talked to me about it.
Well, you really won't know until Election Day, right? When people
So
they actually start writing in. And
Forgive me for sounding like this, but if you're not even going to talk to the news department of your local radio station, how serious can you be?
I bring it up because
Serious.
I know.
How serious can you be?
I bring it up, Dave, only because down in Texas,
Yeah.
one third of the Texas legislature and hundreds of candidates for state offices are already the winners in their elections, because
Oh, that's right. Well, that's Texas law.
50. It's up to 10 state Senate candidates and 58 Texas House candidates are already declared winners because they're running unopposed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's
it's
a
common
bigger
sense.
state. I mean,
It's
that's-
common
wow.
sense too. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously you can wait until all the votes are counted, but if you've got unopposed people and you don't see any credible opposition whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
to them, then you get it over with.
But they vote on much other things than we do down here. So we have the Senate and we have the House, but they also have winners for judges,
Yeah, that's right. They elect judges there.
district attorneys,
Yeah.
county commissioners, justices of the peace
Right.
are elected down there. I didn't
Right.
realize that.
Sure.
And then they said, and others. So the move was made possible by a change in state law.
Massachusetts elects a lot of things that we don't elect too.
Like what? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well, I'm trying to.
We
I don't want to get it
sheriffs.
wrong.
We Massachusetts, we have a sheriff.
That's right.
Sheriffs to elect.
But
So that's
I'm
one.
thinking of campaign signs I've seen in Bellingham or Blackstone, and I'm thinking like tree warden.
Okay.
You vote for a tree warden,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's dog catcher.
Animal control officer.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be an elected position. I don't know. But things like that everybody has, but in some Massachusetts towns they elect them, and I guess in other places in the country too.
Okay. Up in Vermont, Dave, I found this amusing. Police in St. Johnsbury calling it a hate crime after a vandalism incident at a church in that town. On Wednesday, officers responded to the Pleasant Street Baptist Church where someone spray painted a large pentagram and the word Satan. Now, why do I bring this up? No suspects have been identified, but police may not be looking for the brightest of the criminal minds. They misspelled the word Satan. And all I can think of is it says Santa. Which kind of makes you laugh. They try to be so, I don't know, so mean or whatever, and now it ends up being they're laughing at it. Unless they spelled it. They don't tell you how this person actually spelled it. But Satan is misspelled, and all I can come up with is Santa.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Dave, if you were planning to go to Colorado, and were you planning to go to Colorado?
I was not planning to go to Colorado, Joe.
All right, well, if you were, you can cancel out the Nederland, Colorado annual tribute to a frozen dead guy festival. Will not be held next year.
What a shame.
Organizers
Let's
announced...
get a telethon going.
We're going to start a GoFundMe page. Organizers announced this week that the 2023 festival has been canceled due to safety and security concerns and other operational hurdles.
Plus, the dead guy's not going to show up.
The festival was not held for two. That's right. The festival was not held for 2 years because of COVID, but it draws more than 20,000 people when it returned earlier this year. Any reason to get together and have a beer?
I guess so.
Now, the event pays tribute to a man from Norway who was frozen after his death, and he was brought to Nederland, Colorado by his grandson, who uses dry ice to preserve the body. So I wonder if they bring out this body during this frozen dead guy festival, and we just keep blowing the dry ice at him so he stays preserved.
Okay.
They are hoping, the organizers of this fine festival are hoping it'll return in 2024, and it does make you wonder what the safety concerns are, and what are the other operational hazards, safety and security? What is the problem that is going on there?
Yeah. Well, before we go, Joe, we want you to
Have we got a
know that
winner?
we don't have any names for you for winners for the November Autumn Fest prize calendar. We've been communicated to just a few moments ago, and they're still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
What's the prize for today, November 4th?
Today's prize winner will receive Executive Auto Wash 6 Platinum Washes. It's a $126 value, and a 3-month Platinum Car Wash membership, a $108 value, plus a $50 gift card to Pepin Lumber,
Right.
$25 gift card to Chan's Restaurant,
Yeah.
and a $200 gift card to Squeaky Cleaners Rhode Island LLC.
Ooh, Squeaky Cleaners.
Sounds like a dry cleaner.
Yes, it does. Well, the winner for November 4th, they read the ticket, they put it all down here, name, address, and phone number, and thank goodness we have that. It says the winner is Apollo Auto Sales Cumberland. I don't know who at Apollo Auto Sales Cumberland, but there you have it.
I know the family that owns it.
Yeah, well, then, by golly, they'll get today's prize.
The Albert family.
Okay.
I'm not sure which member, though, filled out the
Well, when you think of Apollo Auto Sales being the winner, and you think of all those car washes, seems to me like somebody's going to really enjoy that prize. They also drew for Saturday's winnings, and what is the winnings for Saturday, November the 5th?
the same Executive Auto Wash 6 Platinum Washes and the
Yep.
Platinum Car Wash membership. They also get a $25 gift card to Little General Stores, a $100 gift card to DRL Carpet for 2 room of carpet cleaning,
Ooh.
and a $25 gift card to the Beef Barn.
Ooh, love that. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
And the winner is no name given. We do have an address in Woonsocket on South Main Street.
And a phone.
And a phone number we
But-
won't
but
repeat.
But
So,
hello, no name?
But we can't tell you who won because no name is given.
All right.
Well,
There
you know,
you
when they
go.
fill those things out at Autumn Fest,
we don't check
if
them.
they're in a rush.
Yeah, okay, just throw it in the
That's
bucket.
right. Yeah. So I mean, some people we had a couple of funky ones there, but anyway, keep in mind Denise still has a couple. We sold 2 yesterday. A couple, I think, is all she has left of the calendars. And if you don't mind having a few prizes already been drawn, come on by today before 4 o'clock and pick up your calendar, $10, and look at all the great prizes you could get if you just win once, and you could win twice. Who knows?
And of course, the big prize is the $300 gift card to Family Discount Furniture.
Of course it is.
Which will be drawn on Wednesday, November 30th. So
And,
you'll be in the running for that.
and the one who wins on Sunday the 6th gets a prize in the radio station, too.
Yep, that's
Okay.
a $50 Visa gift card.
One of many
Donated by
prizes
us.
on Sunday.
That's right.
Ours is in on Sunday.
All right, that wraps it up for Coffee and for today. Thank you for listening, and our thanks to Mike Carroll and Angel McClure
Yeah.
of Dean Bank, the Blackstone branch. Make sure you stop by today and or tomorrow to partake in their celebrating their 25 years as your neighbor there in Blackstone. Dave, thanks for coming in.
It's been a pleasure, and it was great being with Mike and Angel, too.
Yes, and our thanks to Kevin Callahan giving us a high school football preview.
It was
Game-
okay being with Kevin, too.
Kickoff is 6 o'clock tonight. Now, coming up at 9:30, it's Gary Smith and the crew. And do you remember tomorrow,
Yes.
turn your clocks back
Before you go to bed,
before you go to bed on Saturday night.
fall back.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the